Hello guys, here we have a question from Pathfinder which is from the chapter Electrostatics. This is from the Build Up Your Understanding question number 16, so you can look at it once. So let's begin. A particle of charge Q is placed on the axis of a neutral cylinder of volume V at a distance x from the one end of the cylinder as shown in the figure. Here the distance x is much larger than the linear dimensions of the cylinder. Using suitable approximations, find force F of the electrostatic interaction between the charged particles and the cylinder, considering the two cases when the cylinder is made of a conducting material and the cylinder is made up of insulating material of relative permittivity epsilon r. So basically what is happening here is that due to the charge, positive charge, there some charges will be induced on the surfaces of the cylinder, and as it's of very small linear dimension, it will mainly be on its plane surfaces only. So when we have to consider the two cases in which we have an permittivity epsilon r and when it's a conducting, so basically we will solve it only in the case of epsilon r. And when epsilon r tends to infinity, it is basically means that it is a conductor. So we don't need to solve it separately, we will just solve it for epsilon any general epsilon r. So let's assume that a charge of minus q is induced on the surface nearer to the charge q, and that on the further surface a charge positive q is induced. And let's assume that the electric field E1 is due to the positive charge q and E2 is due to the induced charges. So what we get from here, E1 minus E2 equals to E net, and which will be equal to E1 over epsilon r by the definition of dielectric. So what we get from here is that kq over x square minus q over a epsilon naught. The electric field due to one surface will be q by 2a epsilon naught, and due to both the surfaces it will be q by a epsilon naught, and this will be equal to kq by epsilon or x square. So from here kq over x square times 1 minus 1 over epsilon r equals to q over a epsilon naught, and here a is the, I have assumed a to be the surface area of the cylinder. So small q is equals to kq a epsilon naught over x squared multiplied by 1 minus 1 over epsilon r. Now the force on this can be calculated like assuming q times d as the dipole moment, and by doing that, or we can directly write the force as q over x squared minus q over x plus d whole squared. So what we get from here is that kq by x squared multiplied by small q, which is kq a epsilon naught over x squared multiplied by 1 minus 1 over epsilon r multiplied by 1 by x square minus 1 by x plus d whole squared. So what we get from here is that f equals to k square q square a epsilon naught over x to the power 4 multiplied by 1 minus 1 over epsilon r multiplied by this would simplify to be x square times x plus d whole squared over d square plus 2xd. Now here this is a second order term, so this can be neglected, and here x plus d can be assumed to be x. So finally what we get is k square q square a epsilon naught over x to the power 4 multiplied by 1 minus 1 over epsilon r multiplied by 2d by x cube. Oh sorry, here the x square shouldn't be there because I haven't taken it common. So here it should be x squared, and here again it should be x squared. So finally the force comes out to be k square q square a d, which is the volume, times epsilon naught into 1 minus 1 over epsilon r over x to the power 5, and this can be written as volume. So final answer is, and substituting k to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, we get q squared v epsilon naught times 1 minus 1 over epsilon r divided by x to the power 5 times 8 pi square. Sorry, I have taken, there's a 2 1 more here. So, and when in the case when it's a conductor, epsilon r tends to be infinity, and the force comes out to be q square v epsilon naught over 8 pi square x to the power 5. So yeah, these are the final answers. Thank you.